Ever wondered how a dice roll can predict the outcome of a game? Or how advertising dollars can forecast sales figures? Today, we embark on a journey through the fascinating world of statistics, exploring 5 key concepts that help us understand and interpret data. First up, probability distribution. Picture a game of dice. Each roll presents 6 possible outcomes, each with a probability of 1/6. This is a simple example of a probability distribution, a concept that shows how likely each outcome is. Depending on the experiment and the variable, you'll find different types of probability distributions, including binomial, normal, and Poisson. Next comes regression. Think of it as a crystal ball predicting one thing from another. Say you have data on advertising spend and revenue earned. Regression helps find a mathematical equation that best describes the relationship between these two variables. With this equation, you can estimate future revenue from a given amount of advertising. Depending on the shape of the relationship and the variable's type, you'll find different types of regression, such as linear, logistic, and polynomial. Moving on to hypothesis testing. It's like playing a game of Guess Who, testing if our assumption about something is right or wrong. For instance, if you're curious whether a new product is better than the old one, hypothesis testing can be your tool. You set up a null hypothesis that assumes no difference between the two products, and an alternative hypothesis suggesting a difference. Statistical methods then calculate the probability of getting observed results or more extreme results by chance, assuming the null hypothesis is true. This probability is called the p-value. A very small p-value lets you reject the null hypothesis, concluding that the new product is better. Conversely, a not-so-small p-value means you can't reject the null hypothesis and thus can't draw a conclusion. Next, we explore central tendency. Imagine you have data on the heights of 100 students. Central tendency helps find the most representative height. Depending on the data's distribution and outliers, different measures of central tendency apply, such as mean, median, and mode. The mean is the sum of all values divided by the number of values. The median is the middle value when the data is sorted, and the mode is the most frequent value. Lastly, variability. It measures how much data values differ from each other, or the average. For example, if you have data on the test scores of 100 students, variability helps find how spread out the scores are. Depending on the data's scale and shape, different measures of variability apply, such as range, standard deviation, and variance. The range is the difference between the maximum and minimum values. The standard deviation is the average distance of the values from the mean, and the variance is the square of the standard deviation. So there you have it. A quick tour through the intriguing world of statistics. We've looked at probability distribution, regression, hypothesis testing, central tendency, and variability. 5 fundamental concepts that can transform the way we understand and interpret data. Dive deeper, and there's a whole universe of statistics waiting to be explored.